real issue will an aging and declining world population by 2050, not overpopulation. Your will is the most accurate way to predict the future. The thing that drives me is that I want to be able to think about the future and feel good about that. It's mostly about the bandwidth, the speed of the connection between your brain and the digital version of yourself, particularly output. Over time I think we will probably see a closer merger of biological intelligence and digital intelligence. I say something, and then it usually happens. Maybe not on schedule, but it usually happens. People work better when they know what the goal is and why. It is important that people look forward to coming to work in the morning and enjoy working. I think it's possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. Don't tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Whenever there's something that affects the public good, then there does need to be some form of public oversight. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. I don't create companies for the sake of creating companies, but to get things done. If you're co-founder or CEO, you have to do all kinds of tasks you might not want to do. If you don't do your chores, the company won't succeed. No task is too menial. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control what happens to that basket. That's my lesson for taking a vacation. Vacation will kill you. I would tell those people they will get to see their families a lot when we go bankrupt. As a child, I hated being alone. As an adult, I don't want to be alone. It makes one really miserable. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. Pay attention to negative feedback, and solicit it, particularly from friends. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. The value of beauty and inspiration is very much underrated, no question. But I want to be clear, I'm not trying to be anyone's savior. I'm just trying to think about the future and not be sad. There's a silly notion that failure is not an option at NASA. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. Entrepreneurship is more like eating glass while staring at the abyss of death. I wouldn't say I have a lack of fear. In fact, I'd like my fear emotion to be less because it's very distracting and fries my nervous system. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. You must be willing to lose it all, but be willing to keep going into the future. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. The company was bleeding money like crazy. And if we didn't solve these problems in a very short period of time, we would die. There are way easier places to work, but nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week. Failure is a good option. If you are not failing, you are not trying hard enough. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. No, I don't ever give up. I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.